There's beautiful people. A lot of people probably know that I'm researching all religions, and what I think that I found out and easily can prove, or at least you can give a perspective of doubt from coincidence. This is going to be really coincidence. In some Bible versions, they are talking about Mary Magdalene, like Mary Magdalene was a hooker. But there is something really strange that's left in the Bible, that Jesus Christ gave her a lot of on the mount. What I understand, they take away the word kiss. I don't know why. Maybe that was sexistic in that time, but it's in the Bible what I've understood. I've never read the Bible, but I've seen so many people telling, like, what do you think that he's hitting her? No, of course not. He's giving her a kiss. So there is a lot of debate about, could it be his wife? Um, I already know. And there are hidden scriptures now coming out more and more that people are researching from that time period, and they will say it's a fact. What happened in 2000 years? The same effect that you had on school. You tell someone in the ear, and in the end, when 20 people, and then they will come back and they will say, yeah, I want a bread with a flat and do some ketchup on it and then slap it twice on my head. Well, probably they just said like, can you tell this to this? I have a plant and the plant is really beautiful and it says the color yellow. You know what I mean? Like, this is already some things that you can think of, that by saying, even when writing, it could be in some way or somehow possible that somebody. But before I go on, I'm gonna tell you something. Maria Magdalena. If I look at in Dutch, it's Maria Magdala. Magdala. If I take away Allah, and probably a lot of people know, there are a lot of churches that are preaching to the Virgin Maria. In Dutch, virgin is maagd. I think it's also in some other countries, like in Germany, maagd. That's at least what I think. That's what I think. But this is a really strange coincidence in the Dutch. Maagd means virgin. So if I only take Allah away from Magdala, that's how the name is changed. Then it's translated in Dutch. Maria Magdala. That means that I only take 3 letters away and I have Maria Maagd. Virgin, Maria Virgin. In some countries you put the back name as first. Then I have Virgin Maria. Maagd. Dutch virgin is maagd. Maagd Maria. Virgin Maria. Is this a coincidence? Or is there maybe with 2000 years of people writing and rewriting, saying things from other things, people with money maybe purposes, or without the knowledge, or maybe that somebody translated, and while they were translated, they just translated one letter difference. And they interpret it differently. What you see in papers all the time, and you see it in books, that people, when they translate it, that sometimes one word can make a whole difference. But if they one time forget 3 letters of Allah, then people said, "Oh, that's her real name." And then they come in the Dutch and they said, "Hey," or in Germany, that's Virgin Maria, and and somehow maybe they were talking about his mother, and after that maybe Maria Maagd said, and people said, "Oh, that's Virgin Maria." So where I'm pointing at, there is a lot of time that went by. We were not there. We have to believe something that is written. If I write you now a letter, if I write you now a book, and I say Jesus Christ is not real, Why would you not believe what I've written? Because it's somewhere else written. So someone else told the truth to you that you don't even know, and you can see me. I'm not saying, by the way, that Jesus Christ didn't exist, because I've really, with all the scientific proof and all the people that I really trust, uh, he's been there. But not only that, with all that I experienced myself, so I'm telling this firsthand. And one day I will tell my story. One day I will tell my story. Try to understand, and a lot of people are not on a level of consciousness. I've been 40 years a heavy non-believer. Heavy non-believer. Try to understand that if you are 40 years a non-believer, for your perspective, you really know for sure that God is not real. And I can tell you now, God is real. So what changed with me from 180% of different perspective? That's not something that you just do like, oh yeah, now. Do you know what? From of today, I'm a believer. I don't know. I'm just a believer. No, people, that's not how it worked. That's not how it worked. There happened so many crazy things that I cannot explain in this realm. Things that I experienced myself that I cannot explain. And I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Like, so, I don't have any reason to lie to you. Why? Why should I lie to you about what I experienced myself? And maybe I'm triggering you. I don't know. That can be. That's not my point, of course. I'm not even telling what happened. I only tell you that I changed my perspective after 40 years. So there has to be there happened so many things that I cannot explain. And when I'm researching all the things about also Jesus Christ, there are some things that take my attention. Like in the Bible, I'm missing things. I miss at least 18 years of Jesus Christ, his life. And there are some rumors that I've seen that for me is already proven. There are some rumors that in the Pope's house, I don't know how you call that in English, that's how much I know about religion. That's not true, by the way, but I cannot find the word at this point. The Vatican, sorry, I got it. So the Vatican, they say they have a lot of layers underneath the Vatican, and they say that they have hold back 24 chapters of the Bible. And then people say, no, that's not true. Okay, people, tell me what happened with his age. You can see that there is 18 years of his life is missing. So explain that. Could be that it's already telling you the truth. Just like he kissed Mary Magdalene on the mouth. Oh no, sorry. The word kissed is away. So he did something on the mouth. As I have perceived Jesus Christ, he was a nice guy, and he would probably not slap her. I have no idea. Yeah, he walks up to her to put his cheek against her mouth a lot. That doesn't make sense. Why should? But I think he was a handsome guy. He was a good guy, and I think that a lot of people saw his light, and especially girls. They have more connection with the realm next to this. So why shouldn't they? Why do you think that they not seen that? They will see that absolutely. They can put a soul in a baby, man. Try to understand that they put energy in a baby, so they have some way more connection with the realms of the souls. Hey, if you're a believer in spirit, they put a spirit inside of a baby. That's something to think of. So that means that girls are already more spiritual than that men are, because they are open to receive and put it in something else. So why don't you think that girls would not see that Jesus Christ, if you believe that Jesus Christ was the God? I have a different belief, because I believe that you are God too. I believe that God made everything and that God is energy and everything is energy. And that means that God is also you. He made you in his image. It's also in the Bible. Yes, he made me in his image, but I'm not him. But he literally tells you, I made you in my image. So, and if we look and then like, do you have scientific proof? Hell yeah, I have. Just take a plant, you cut it in two, you put it in some water, it gets roots, and you have two of the same plants. If you look at the nature, there are a lot of animals that can, like bacteria reproduce exactly the same clone. So why shouldn't it that God cloned himself to experience different perspective? If I'm not talking, if I'm not, if I'm only can talk with myself, and there is no duality, because that's the thing that you have to understand. There's only one. That means that I also have one perspective. So to get more perspective, I can talk to myself. Like everyone's talking in their head. So when you are talking in your head, you're talking to someone else because you created from the thought that you already have a second thought to find your own thing. So there are a lot of things that really are interesting to research this time, and it's a detective puzzle now. And there are a lot of things that I easily can prove, just like I, from my perspective, did with the plants, with the bacteria, with cells. I personally think that I easily prove to you that there is something to think about. No, I'm not gonna put my thing off you. And I always say, research everything yourself, because everything that I can say can be false. Of course, I'm not trying to, and I also relay why I think that kind of things, just like I did with the plants and with the cells that are dividing in two. But it's the same cell that's dividing in two. If everything in this world, if we are living in a world of duality, like black, white, in the middle we have gray, just to get the 3D dimensions, but it's a world of duality, and there's a middle point that's a balance point. Why shouldn't that be with everything? Well, people are saying the world is going to get in 5D. Maybe. Do I have proof from scientifically matter that it's possible? Yes. There are cells that are dividing themselves in two. But not only that, they're not only dividing in two, but also you have evolution. And sometimes from the two clones, there will be one clone that's a little bit different. So why couldn't it be that the world is also cloning itself, and it will be just a little bit different? No, Dylan, you're crazy. Okay, explain cell dividing. Explain how I can take the same plant, I cut it, put it in water, it gets roots, and I put it next to it, and it's exactly the same plant. If we're gonna look at making a baby, we're doing somehow the same, only we take two specimens that have different lineages together, with all from everything a little bit, making a baby together. That means that from the father and the mother, all their family has a little bit in it, and that's eventually what makes the baby. Just giving some perspectives. This is my head. This is in my head. But not only my head, this is also finding the things that we already know. Everyone knows that sugar is poisonous, because there's a lot of science behind it. Does that mean that the plant is poisonous? No, that means that there is something happening after the plant is made. Because if you're going to research cane sugar, you will find out that cane sugar... What? No. It's good for your teeth? What? No. It's good for your health? No, man, that's not true. What happened there? Somewhere along the line, we lost our perspective of love, perspective of humanity, of human being. We are, as a species, We are a loving species from nature. But somewhere along the line we were deceived. And we are lost what we loved. And that's why a lot of people are awakening, just like me, 40 years non-believer, and now I'm not a believer. I'm zero believer, I know for sure. Dylan, you know for sure 40 years? How did you do that? When things will happen to you, when they will happen, when you're going to research and when you're going to do the things that I did, I can give you some advice. Do breathing techniques. Meditating is a way, and first you will find it really hard, because what is meditating really is trying to silence the head, and not really silencing, it's getting the noise away. Like, we are learned to think, but if you think, did you ever listen? And that's what people do in meditation. So what you have to try to begin with 5 seconds, not a thought. I can do it because I'm now, you can see how easily I went in it. But I am now experienced in that. And some days I really have a lot of problems with that. And journaling, as people say, that will also could help you, because the things that are in your head will go away. What I'm doing now, I'm putting soon a movie online, but what I'm really doing is journaling with myself. I'm only sharing this with somebody else, maybe to help them awaken. So if you want to know what all happened to me, and it can happen to you too. 40 years non-believer to now I know. Just you need to get rid of the old beliefs that it's you first have to go maybe to the middle. What if I'm wrong? That's my problem. I'm researching now, and I'm now not convinced. I know for sure God, that can also be energy. Energy. That if everything is energy, that's also one thing. Call it source. So if everything is source, is made from one source. You know what I mean? So if everything is one source, I totally lost where I was going to, but maybe I also have to stop it now. But journaling, awakening, what I only want to tell you, go try to get as much oxygen in your body. Don't, if you smoke, you get less smoke, you get less oxygen in your body. What if oxygen is energy? Feel yourself getting high. Feel that energy coming in your body, like, whoa, what's happening? If you do that a lot, your brain will expand because they have a lot of oxygen. Try to hold your breath and tell me how you feel. You know what I mean? It's not going to feel good because you're closing the energy inside of your body. If you're not into meditating, try to silence your mind for 5 seconds. You have 5 seconds. What if it can benefit you in such impossible ways that you cannot imagine? Why shouldn't you want to know? And that's don't get me wrong. I'm totally reflecting on myself, like when people were like, "Oh, Jesus Christ and God and blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Yo, man, haha, they're crazy. They believe in nothing. They don't believe in nothing. There happen things to people. There happen things to me that I cannot explain. Yeah, but there's no scientific proof. I don't need scientific proof. I experienced myself. There is no more scientific proof than that. Everyone else can lie, but I cannot lie to myself because I experienced it. And that's one thing that I hope that people would understand. How can you get from one belief to another belief if you find a different perspective? But if you believe something for 40 years and something else happens, it's something to give to mind. It's something to really reflect yourself from what happened. How can it be that I've never seen it? And then you're going to find out that all the things that you know, maybe somehow, some way, some truth was not truth and it was false, and it's all programmed in your head. And you're going to research and you're going to find out, like, no, Mary Macht, Mary, Maria, Macht, Maria. You're gonna see things differently. And also, if you don't see it now, and if you don't believe it, maybe even you're triggered. That's also okay. Of course, it's not my intention to trigger you, or maybe it is. Because if you're going to research what a trigger is, you can also take it away. And when you're going to research a trigger, that means that you are starting your awakening. And when you're starting your awakening, eventually you will see more. When you could not walk and you learned to walk, you could walk. When you could not run, you learned to run, you can run. When you were walking or when you were crawling, you didn't see as much when you were fast walking. Eh? But when you run, you see even more. And that's what they call the level of consciousness. The level of consciousness is from the perspective that you are. And the perspective that you are, if you are an eagle, you look down on the earth from a different perspective than that you are on the earth yourself. If you are an ant, and I put my feet there, like here's an ant, you will be like, oh my God, man, that's the worst thing ever. And if I look at my feet, I'm like, that's not a problem. But if the feet is as big as the ant is, and this is a big ant, by the way, that is a total different view. And keep in mind that as long as you are looking at the mountain, you would think like, whoa, that's a big mountain. But as long as you are not up it, you don't have a different view. If you look at a tree, you will see the tree, but when you climb up, you will see more trees. So everything is from the level of perspective, a level of awareness, a level of consciousness. We have different words. If you never learned math, I can tell you 1 + 1 is 2, and you will say, no, that's not true. Because you never learned to understand what that is. I can explain it to you, and then you understand it. So, peace out, brothers.